Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Review Sesh. If you've been here before, thank you so much for joining me again. And if you haven't been here before, give me one moment. I'll tell you who I am and what I do. My name's Mike, and what I do is I review federally legal hemp and hemp-related products and devices. So whether it's a consumable product or a functional device, I've got it covered both ways. We'll be looking at all of that on this channel. I really appreciate you coming back. If you've been watching me for any amount of time, thank you so much for joining me again. You might notice I'm looking a little bit thin in the face. Decided it was time to trim up the beard. Been kind of getting in my way, and I figured this way you guys would be able to see my pretty smile a little bit better. So what we're looking at today is actually not a THCA product. What we're looking at today, believe it or not guys, is CBD. I have recently acquired some CBD flower, and it is some of the nicest, some of the prettiest, some of the tastiest flower that I've had in a long time. And for those of you guys who don't know about me and what I do and how I consume, a large portion of how I consume is medicinal. So I do have a place for CBD flower in my consumption, routine. And a lot of times what I like to do with it is I'll mix it, or if it's later at night and I don't really, want to get too elevated, so to speak, then I will just, have some CBD, chills me out a little bit, go to bed, get a nice night's sleep. So we're going to be looking at a company called Lost Oak Farms. Lost Oak Farms, they are very, very cool. They have some really interesting things, and they're doing some interesting things with their flower, and I'm going to go over that with you. But to begin, what we're getting here, when they send it to you, of course it's coming in the box, and it comes in this package here, so you get your package in this bag, and this is it's already been opened. I did open it previously, but it is a large mylar, basically, is what this is. And they send you a few things. Of course, you get your order, whatever product you've ordered. But with this, even though this is CBD, we still do have a letter to law enforcement, and this does state that this is federally legal hemp, and this stuff has been legal for some amount of time, and this is below the maximum threshold for THC, which is how, these things are regulated. It's based on THC percentage, not THCA percentage, mind you, based on THC percentage, which is Delta 9, not to be confused with tetrahydrocannabinolic acid. But today, this is just CBD, so non-psychoactive, but still has some amazing flavor. Can help you relax. There's a ritual to this stuff, and that's part of why I love it. And we're gonna look at this flower because it's amazing. But additionally, what you get in the package is, you get, a couple of stickers. Yep. And this is actually, these stickers are for the strain we'll be looking at today, which is Kush loops. And so what Lost Oak Farms, to my understanding, what they do, what they've been doing for some time, is they've been trying to replicate the best of the classic Kush strains, the best flavors, terpene profiles, smells, and nug structure of the best of the best Kush. And knowing what Kush is, that is just something that's totally instantly recognizable as, what we know and love. And we're gonna look at this today. This is their Kush loops, and their packaging is really nice. This is all biodegradable packaging. This is pretty sure this is hemp plastic, and it's all paper outer cover with hemp plastic lining. So one of the things I love about companies, especially the ones that specialize in CBD and things like this, is that they tend to be more, at least in my experience personally, they tend to be more environmentally conscious than companies in other parts of the market. In general, CBD being medicinal in the way that it does mean a great deal more to certain people than just the lifted elevation of a THCA product. And due to that, I think we wind up with really, really nice, pretty nugs like this. Look at that. That's the thing about CBD, guys, is it's been legally cultivated for its buds and for its trichome heads longer in the U.S. than other forms of hemp. Um, for this purpose, for the extraction of the CBD, for the utilization of the CBD. So, we have some growers out here that have been growing CBD for an awful long time, and they produce these wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful flowers like this. Kush loops, guys. I want to make sure you guys get some images of this, as I always like to give you guys some good images. So today we're just gonna go with a little bit of these, or a little bit of this bud here, and it's fairly dense. It does have a cure on it, so it's got some squish, but it also has a little bit of give, which is what I like to see. Fairly keefy, and it does have some stick to it. And this is going to be one of those buds where you can kind of roll it between your fingers to kind of bust it up. So we're not going to have to use a grinder today, guys. Now on the nose, this stuff is what you'd expect. This is very indicative of your classic Kush, with some fruity notes, some mixed fruit notes on it, on the nose. And we'll give it a shot here, and I'll let you know what I think about it. Then we'll talk about some of the great things that we have as far as when it comes to CBD, and how we can use it, and how we can enjoy it, and how we can implement it into our routine with our THCA flower and stuff like that, to actually improve our experience. Not a lot of people realize how beneficial CBD can be in conjunction with the other cannabinoids, and THC especially. You start mixing those two, and while they do have some counter effects, I suppose CBD is not going to necessarily amplify directly anything. Depending on who you are and how it works with your entourage effect or what have you, you can find some very nice results with implementing CBD into your routine. And that is very smooth, very cushy, and it's got a pretty decent amount of fruit there. Very easy on the throat, easy on the inhale. Cereal. That's what I'm getting. A Fruit Loop cereal. Like I've told you guys before, with these ball vapes, with the injector bowls and the injector head and all that, when you start toasting the flower, it gets to a certain point where it gets a little bit more toasty, and it kind of changes the flavors. You'll get to a certain point in this, if you're vaporizing, where it starts with just Kush and fruit, and then by the third hit, like what just happened to me, started tasting the actual cereal. If that makes any sort of sense. You get that toasty, almost puffed corn sort of a thing going, which I really like. I'm one of those kind of people that I go for stuff like that. That is extremely clean and fresh. That is really, really good CBD. Really good CBD. Lost Oak Farms. You can look them up online. They are fairly, really transparent. I mean, you can see their farms. They have, plenty of information online for you to check out. I mean, this is some really nice flower. These people know how to grow plants. And while I primarily consume, THCA flower and things of that nature, I do really still, I love to keep a place for some CBD in my routine. And I'm going to show you one of the things that I do occasionally that I want you to keep in mind. I'll be using this as an example, because some of us, while we do really love the flavor of the CBD flower, and we really love, the smell and the bag appeal and stuff, and some of us, like myself, I will smoke CBD, by itself occasionally, like you've just seen me do. But sometimes you want to get that flavor. You want to get really, really good material, really good nugs, really good bag appeal on it. I mean, you want to have something that you can be proud of when you're sitting there breaking it up. And these are some gorgeous, gorgeous nugs. But say you do need something to add to it. You need to throw. You want to get a little bit elevated. You got you some CBD. You really love the flavor of it. You've got you some boof from somewhere else that it gets you there, but the flavor's not really. You don't want to touch that. Well, here's your answer. Normally, what I would be doing would be using some THCA diamonds, and I would just top my bowl with some diamonds. I don't have diamonds today. What I do have is some lemon cherry gelato sugar wax, and I'm gonna top my bowl today with that. And this is one of those things that you can do, and you can get the best of both worlds in this instance. If you absolutely do need to get elevated, or want to get elevated, whichever, and you've got this wonderful, wonderful CBD, you can either get your diamonds, raw diamonds. They have no flavor attributed to them typically, unless they're sauced, terp sauced. So raw diamonds, great. Crush them up, sprinkle them over top. Keep the wonderful flavors, the aromas. Enjoy really, really well grown flower, and just add something to it yourself. Get yourself there. Additionally, if you have something that, a concentrate or something that you want to top off, I mean, you could do worse than to find something that really complements another thing. So I'm hoping this lemon cherry gelato sugar is going to go well with this Fruit Loops, or Kush Loops flower, and we'll see. But this is what I like to do, and when you're using certain concentrates, you have to be careful when you're putting them on flour. You don't want to just put it on flour and immediately start drawing, at least when you're using one of these. You want to kind of let that heat from the device you're using kind of let that flour, let it kind of slightly melt the concentrate on top of the flour, let it soak in a little bit. And keep in mind, this is CBD flower, this is THCA concentrate, but there are other concentrates out there. You have CBN, you have CBG. CBG looks really promising for me, as I have some intestinal issues, and CBG could be the next big medicine from the hemp plant. So, keep looking out for that. So, yeah, so we're melting that in quite nicely. Now I'm going to take a hit of this, and I'll let you know what I think. Now, you can taste the lemon cherry gelato. You can. But as I was hoping, It seems to complement this Kush loops pretty nicely. Mm. My goodness, that is very good. That's so good. So this flower, wonderful, wonderful vehicle for whatever floats your boat as far as, what you like to do with your bowls. Some of us, like myself, sometimes I like just making a little mixture of stuff, putting in there different sorts of concentrates, different sorts of cannabinoids, and, works for me. Oh my goodness. They've hit the mark. They're trying to breed in these Kush genetics and retain that old terpene profile, that old feel, the aesthetic, everything. They're doing really good work with that. Oh, pardon me. The last one got me. But yeah, Lost Oak Farms, Ashland, Oregon. Check them out online. They seem to be a very, very good company. They are equitable. They seem to be very environmentally conscious and quite nice people to speak to as well, which is very, very good. I do appreciate being able to, talk to people and ask them about their products and have them, be ready to talk about their products. And Lost Oak, yeah, they met that mark. So we just checked out Kush Loops today. Tomorrow, as I'm filming this at night, so you'll see this in the morning. But by the time you're seeing this, I'll probably be on my way or already at the Chattanooga event tomorrow. So going to be an all-day event from noon to 10 p.m. and a lot of different vendors, different farms, companies from all over the state of Tennessee are going to be out there. So if you watch me, if you live out that way, near Chattanooga or whatever, you might want to stop by. It's going to be a big, big event. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'll try to get some good pictures and some good, some goodies and stuff to share with all you guys. So I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope the rest of your day goes well. And until I see you next time, I want you guys to take care of each other. Treat each other as well as you want to be treated yourself. That is important. People forget about that all the time. So show some empathy, anytime you get a chance. Because the more you smile, the more world smiles with you. And, don't hunt for the negative things. Focus on the positive things, and as always, stay lifted and stay blessed. And I'll see you next time. Peace.